What's up guys, happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in to my latest video, The Life of a Jobbing Plumber. If you don't already subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, it really helps me out. So this week, I didn't think I was going to get a video done. It's really late. I normally try and get them out for 6 p.m. on a Sunday. It's now 6:30 and I'm just sat in my van recording the intro. So that tells you how my weekend's gone. Been a really busy week. I've been jobbing, just so busy. A lot of the jobs are from this week, emergency call out, stuff like that. I've burst 2 tyres on my van this week. Just a nightmare. I had to change a tyre. I came back from Solihull when I did the Unilight podcast. My tyre burst. I had to roll it back, left it on my sister's drive because I couldn't get home. Then when I changed the tyre, the tarmac was so hot, my jack started to move as it sunk into the tarmac. So I ended up putting 3 kit boxes under the back of my van to try and keep it up while I got the jack out and repositioned it. So I thought I was going to completely ruin my van. Another tyre is slow puncture, so it keeps going down. I have to pump it up. I've got to get that in on tomorrow, Monday. Probably end up using my dad's van. It's just been one of those weeks. But this video, I've got a gas escape, I've got a Worcester Bosch repair, I've got a immersion heater swap. That was an economy 7 one. I've got a little look at my new PB servicing bag. There's a video that I did last week where you can win 1 of 2 bags if you want to look at that. And we've got the update from Sam, who's at the end of his fast track gas course and he's just doing the assessment. So I hope you enjoy it. So we're at a gas escape. Someone smelt gas in the property. The property's actually empty. There was a cleaner here doing some cleaning. So when I open the meter box, there's 2 bits of literature in here. This one is from May 21 and it's saying that there was a permissible pressure drop of 0.5 millibar found with no smell of gas. So I'm guessing that was when this new meter was installed. And then this one from today, which reports a smell of gas and a 1.5 millibar drop. So they've dissed the meter outlet, they've labelled it at risk. Just while we're looking at this, we're going to look in my gas book, my unsafe situations procedure book, because as far as I'm concerned, if you've got a gas escape and you can smell gas and you've proved there's a 1.5 millibar drop, it's not at risk, it's immediately dangerous. A gas escape is immediately dangerous, not at risk. So we'll have a look in the book just so we're all clear on it. So the gas industry unsafe situation procedure, you can get this as a booklet that you can keep in your van, which is handy, or you can just get it online for free. It's just a free download. So you're going to look in here and there's a table. So this table you can make as easy or as complicated as you want. It's totally down to your opinion as the gas engineer on site. You can interpret it any way you want, but we start at the top. The first question asks you, does the appliance installation create an immediate danger to life or property? Yes or no? So is it about to kill you or blow up the building that you're working on? If it's a yes, it's immediately dangerous. And an example of something that is immediately dangerous is a gas escape. So the job we're on now is immediately dangerous because a gas escape with a smell of gas is dangerous to life and property. You can see that here, immediately dangerous is a dangerous appliance installation which if left connected to a gas supply is an immediate danger to life or property. Examples of this are combustion products entering the room and gas escapes. The second option is no, so we look down. The second question is, does a situation exist on the appliance installation which may lead to an unsafe situation? So if there's a chance that it could become unsafe, it's not immediately dangerous, so it's not about to blow up or kill you, but there's a chance it could, then it's at risk. And if it's not, then it's okay, safe to use. Obviously, there are things that can be wrong with a gas installation or a gas appliance that aren't immediately dangerous or aren't at risk of being dangerous, but they're not right. So let's say it's not been fitted to manufacturing instructions, then that's what I would label down as something as not to current standards. But the most important thing here is this yellow box. If in doubt, always take a course of action which ensures safety. So if you look at something and you think, oh, I wonder if that's at risk or immediately dangerous, I'm not quite sure. Always go with the thing that makes it safe. There's no shame in saying something's immediately dangerous and saving someone's life, pissing off a landlord. But let's say you don't want to turn the appliance off, you want to leave them with hot heat and hot water on because you don't want to upset a landlord, and then it ends up being immediately dangerous and you kill someone. You should have gone with this box. So that's your job at the end of the day as a gas engineer. If you work on a property and you come across a fault, Your job is to protect the property and the life of the people in that property. So always go with a course of action which ensures the safety. And I've got to now trace this gas escape. Now they've ticked meter, so defective appliance meter. So whether it's in here, I mean, it would be lucky if it is, because that'll be easy. But it could be, see where this pipe goes into the wall? The boiler's up there, and there's a hob in the kitchen. Anywhere between here and where the pipe goes within the sort of fabric of the building, it could be on anything. So the gas escapes are probably one of my least favourite jobs, because it could be anywhere, and it might be somewhere easy and we find it straight away, or it might be the last place we look. So I've just thought I'd do this drawing and show you what I do, or how I approach a gas escape. Now I always dread them because they can be a right ball ache. Obviously, if it's something simple, if they call out Transco or Cadent or whoever and they cap it off, but they say trace the leak to, let's say, the gas hob, you know roughly where to start looking. But if they don't give you any information, they just say there was a smell of gas, they came, did a tightness test, there was a drop, so they've capped the meter off. It could be anywhere in the fabric of the building. So it can be horrible, it can be easy. Never look forward to them, but this is what I do. So the first thing we'll check is we'll put a tightness test on the whole installation, and if there's a drop, then we're looking for a gas escape. So then what I do is process of elimination. So let's start the boiler. We'll isolate the supply to the boiler, retest it. Is there still a drop? Yes, then it's on something on here and the boiler's okay. If we isolate it and there's not a drop, then we've pinpointed from the isolation valve to the appliance, the escape is somewhere here. So let's say we've isolated that, still dropping, so we isolate the gas hob, still dropping, so we isolate the fire, still dropping. So it's not any of these three appliances, it's on the pipework. Now the pipework is in the upstairs ceiling void, below the floorboards. It's also below the foundation of the building, so buried in the floor. We're then, trying the most common places. Exposed pipework up to the isolation valves, if there's any bends or anything on the walls. But then it also could be below the floor level. Now what you'll find is, if it is below the floor level, you might have a drop without a smell of gas. If you've got a smell of gas with the drop, then hopefully it will be something on the exposed pipework. Like on this job, we had a smell of gas at the meter. The Cadent guy capped it off, obviously found a drop, noted down that there was a smell of gas at the meter, so it was quite easy to start at the meter. But if you don't get that information, or the drop was a smell of gas, let's say in the living room where the fire is, but we've not got a drop after the isolation while the fire, it could be on the pipework below the lounge floor. So can be difficult. It's a process of elimination. You rule each appliance out, pin it back to the pipework, then you have to find it on the pipework. And if it was buried under the floor somewhere here, say they'd not wrapped the pipe and the cement or the concrete had eaten away at the copper pipe, you're never going to be able to repair it. You're going to struggle to find it, so it might mean repiping your appliances. So what I'm going to do first, I am going to whip the disc out of this, pop the gas back on and do my own tightness test. Other than that, there's our disc. Let's take that out. Check that the rubber's still on there. It is. So do that back up. And we'll pop the gas back on. Alright, so we've got 1.5 millibar drop after my test time. Now, a few of you might be saying, Pete, why are you using this manometer, not a digital one? Just old habits, and it's just going to give me a quick idea. When I've finished the job, I will do it with my digital, because then I can issue a printout to prove what I got, because obviously, well, I'm filming this, so I've got a bit of proof, but with one of these you can't send something to your customer to prove that you've found a gas escape and that you've fixed it. So this is just to give me an idea. Now I know that there's a drop, I can start searching for it, and then when I'm done, when I'm happy I've fixed it, we'll do it on the digital. Right, so I've just removed this non-setting compound to reveal, it's like a compression fit in there, and that's where our drop is. So that's good news, we found it. if you didn't follow this job on my Instagram, basically I got to this at about 6 p.m. on a Thursday night. Once I traced the leak, it was too late for me to repair it, and I had an idea of coming back on Friday and completely renewing this piece of pipe, so cutting it and having a new piece of pipe to a new meter union. I thought I'd have loads of time on the Friday to do this. Well, I was running really late on the Friday, so I didn't get back here till about the same time, 6, half 6 on the Friday. So just thought I would attempt to repair it. So I cleaned the face up, put some paste on, and basically put it back together. Obviously, if I'd had more time, I probably would have renewed it, but that's just how my day went, really. I was just really late. But luckily, put it all back together. It was fine. Tested it with my digital manometer, did a tightness test. Non-setting compound back on, and it was tight, it was good. So all good in the end. Friday night emergency. You can hear that. Where it's coming from though. Somewhere up there. I'll whip the cover off and have a look. Yeah. So I took the trap out so I can see. I don't know if you can see this. Move that. I don't know. I'm just filming this for my YouTube.
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
You're talking to me, right? I'll shut up.
Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it there. See it's spraying out of that. That's the connection to a pressure gauge. And it looks like it's been caught. It's like flattened and it's just spraying out of there. So I can stop it if I put my finger on it. So, new one of them.
1852 plus that.
Cheers. So we're back Saturday morning. There's the part. Now, last night I drained it from the bottom of the MagnaClean, so I pulled that out into the bucket. So there shouldn't be any water above. So this should just pop out. If it pisses everywhere, that'll be funny, won't it? So that's where it's been crushed. Is it there? Yeah, that's the spot. So I don't know how that's happened, but yeah, it was pissing out of that. So whip that out of there, and then this just pops out. New one, new O-ring, bit of silicone grease on there, bit on the floor as well. So that's the new one. Clip that in place, and then I've run it back through these to the back there. Got the grease on the end. That should just pop back in like that, and then this will grab it. Okay, I think that's in. These, I'm always nervous about these that are on O-rings that it's not going to pull out. I'll pressurise it. Okay, so pop some pressure in. Keep an eye on that. Check that. Okay, looking good. Drop back in. We'll fire it up. Didn't notice this last night because obviously there was water pissing down the wall, but this is our filter, magnetic filter. This is a Worcester Bosch MagnaClean basically, and it's been fitted on the flow. See the arrow there? That's the flow coming out the boiler to the and here, which is the return back into the boiler. So my Milwaukee wet vac, which I love, and I only use this as a wet vac. I don't chop and change between dry and wet. It's just wet vac, has stopped working. So first thing I did was obviously check the battery. I'd not used it for probably 3 or 4 days before it stopped working. So it was working fine and then it stopped working. So I took the battery out. Battery is 3 bars. So the battery's got charge in it. We tried another battery in, still dead. So I popped it on my Instagram and a lot of people told me a few different things to try. So we're going to take it to bits and see if we can fix it. So one of the first things people said was, is this float stuck? I don't know if that's the fact that the ball needs to be able to move freely or what, but I checked that. Still nothing. So we'll open it up. There's quite a few screws on here and then we'll have a look inside. What I think has happened is I've left water in it in the van. It's tipped over and water's got into the electrics, but we'll see. Obviously we're doing this with the battery out and there's a fair few of these Torx T20 screws. I can't get to that one hand, but there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 screws, and I'm going to pull this bit apart. Okay, another thing you have to do is disengage the hose because that was holding it in. So this is the underside. We've got a little PCB. So a lot of people said to check the power button, see if they've got wet or if they need cleaning. They're the leads that attach on, they seem fine. So then we've got the 2 that attach onto the battery. There's 3, so there's 4. Pull them off and check they're not wet and give them a clean as well. Alright, so I've cleaned these, I've linked this switch out so they're joined together now. Pop the battery in, still not working. So I want to check now, well, if I've got power coming out of the battery onto the board. Maybe we'll check it from the motor there where it connects onto the motor. So I've got my multimeter and we're checking coming out of the battery. We've got 19 volts DC. So we know that the battery is sending voltage to the board. So then we're going to look at the switch. So we've got 1.4 volts to the switch. Maybe that's all it needs. So if we join them back together, and then we're going to check these 2 here that go to the motor. So nothing coming out of the board to power the motor, so it must be the board at fault. It's a shame. You can just see on that, you can just see on the board there, it's sort of brown where it's burnt out, R21. And a little bit on the back there. The Hoover's pretty sure it's less than a year old, so I could always take it back to Screwfix and get a replacement. We'll see. I'll let you know what I do. This job is an immersion heater replacement. They actually sent an electrician out because it had blown the breaker on the board. It had gone that bad, and I'm here now to change the immersion.
Want a cup of tea, pal?
I'd love one, mate, thank you.
Tea or coffee?
Tea, please.
There's all sorts. That box in there is new. For that, it used to be have a little light on it, you know, like the cooker ones.
Yeah.
So you could visually see where they were.
I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I'll always try and loosen off or crack an immersion while it's still full of water, so before it's drained down. The reason being is if you do it when it's empty, the copper of the cylinder is so thin, you can easily twist it, especially if it's been in a few years. So I don't know if I've already got the hose on, but it's still full of water. Just going to show you. And this cylinder is absolutely massive, so it's going to take quite a while to drain down. Size of that. Luckily the chap's made me a cup of tea, so I'm going to sit, drink my tea while that's draining down. I've got some paperwork I can do on my phone on my Tradify app while I'm waiting. 3 hours later. So it's drained down, I took the old one out. It's got what I assumed was silicone, but a few people on Instagram pointed out it might be LSX. Now, I've never put an immersion in with silicone, but it came out super easy, and obviously it didn't leak, so maybe that's the future. Anyway, this one's quite badly misshapen, so you can see I'm having to bend it to get it out of the hole, basically. Took quite a bit. They can get really badly misshapen. Obviously the split, you can see there's quite a few splits on this. And then when we eventually get it out, we've got a massive great break at the top there. That's why it's tripped the power so bad. When I make up an immersion heater, I put PTFE on the thread and I put a smear of paste on the face of that fibre gasket. So, old one's out. Now the new one's in and I'm filling up. I'm not connecting the power yet because if you have a leak, then you've got to disconnect the cable so you can get your immersion spanner back on. So I always wait till it's full and I know it's not going to leak before I wire it in. Luckily this one filled up a lot faster than it drained down. So that's it filled up, wired up. I've got the power on at the fuse spur, but if we use my multimeter to check it, you'll see that there's no power to the immersion. I've checked the fuse in the spur and that's good. And that's because this is on an economy 7. So what we've got to do is boost it downstairs to give us power to test it. If you can't boost it, you'd have to wire yourself up a 3-pin plug on a bit of flex to test it. And now with that on boost, we can see we've got 240 volts there. It's just something to be aware of when you're checking immersion. If you've got no power to it, just double check that you're not on economy 7 because it's thrown me a few times. New PB service bag in 60 seconds. Socket set pouch. Lots of vertical storage. 2 large clear zip pockets. And the bag comes with its own Velcro straps to help you keep your hoses organised. Quick release D-rings that stay attached to the tool. Fleece lined pockets to protect your meters and test equipment. Power bank pocket so you can charge equipment in the bag on the go. Rubber grommet so you can charge the power bank without removing it from the bag. iPad pocket. Dedicated storage tub for your analyzer hose and probe. The tub's easily removable to give you access to a hidden storage compartment where you can put untidy things like plugs and extra cables. Or remove the packer and there's room for consumables and larger items. And yes, the pockets will fit your cane and printer. A manometer storage, short or long, if you don't want to use it as a bag. Use it as a backpack. So that is my new servicing bag that I've made in collaboration with Velocity Pro Gear. Now it's probably one of the most difficult bags to design. I wanted a lot of things from it, a lot of different design features specific to sort of servicing, and it was really difficult to make, get it the right size, the right weight. I mean, these bags are quite heavy because they're so well made, they're tough, but having so many different features on it, this is probably the first bag where I didn't design it for me. I thought about what other people needed from it. So hopefully it's going to be popular. I've had some really good feedback about it, but it was a really difficult bag to design. It probably took the longest. We had 4 prototype bags made and they're not cheap. Basically you have a prototype made, comes over, you check it, you make alterations to it, you send it back, then they send an improved prototype, and we did that 4 times before we got to the final product. So, and even the bag that I show in the video is still a prototype. There was still some changes to make to that one. So it's a long process, but it's rewarding. I got a lot of good feedback, like I say. So if you want to watch the full video, that was the last YouTube video I did. There's a chance for 2 people to win one of the bags. And if you want to order one, they're on pre-order now. I'll leave the link to pre-order it in the description to this video.
Hey guys, I hope everyone's well. It's about 5:30 in the morning on Thursday. I've just got to Shrewsbury, but it's going to be the last time I'm doing this early morning. I've got here this morning, I'm going to get on the train, go to Birmingham, but I'm staying the night tonight, and then back on Friday, back tomorrow. So yeah, I'm all done. My 8 weeks are complete, which is a good feeling. So the way this week is set out, the first few days are assessments, practical assessments, and then the last couple of days are just tying up loose ends, paperwork, obviously finding out how you did on your assessments. I think I've done okay. They don't tell you definitively whether you've passed your assessments, but I've had a pretty clear indication all the way through that I've been doing okay. So yeah, then today we'll be doing a bit of paperwork. They'll want probably a review off me about the course and how I feel it's gone. And then the last day, it's a bit strange. The way the course is laid out, you pay for the course up front, and then if you require it, they guarantee you a mentor to go out with and gain your portfolio. Now they keep those cards pretty close to their chest. They don't give you the details until the very last day. If you've got a mentor they've provided for you, they wait until the very last day to give you their details, and you contact them and sort it out between them. And you pay for the course, but you pay for your mentor separately at the end. You have to pay them £500, but you don't pay the course, you pay your mentor. I don't know, that's the only thing I've felt a little bit sketchy about during this. Just feels like a bit of a backhander and an in-house thing, which is fine. I don't mind. I think on the flip side, if you add it up and think, is it worth £500 to gain my portfolio? Well, of course it is. Luckily, I know a fair few people that will help me get through my portfolio, so I won't be needing that from them. Yeah, so that's the next stage. Now, I wanted to possibly do a live where I can answer any questions if anybody's got them about the initial 8 weeks of this course. I might do that on my Instagram. If anybody's got any ideas of how I should do it, then yeah, they'd be appreciated. Or you can even ask me some questions in the comments now. I'm more than happy to answer those. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a sit down and maybe talk to a few people, and if they've got any questions, then I can answer them directly. Thanks very much. Appreciate everybody that's followed my journey, and there's more to come. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thanks. Right then, I'm back. I've literally just got in the van. Just come back on the train from Shrewsbury. I'm ready to go home now, and I've passed all my assessments, I'm glad to say. So yeah, onto the portfolio now, and hopefully when I see you guys next, I'll be even closer to being gas safe. So thanks, see you soon.